Greetings, travelers, and welcome to another episode of Tales of the Dice Roll. Last we left our heroes, they were on the trail of Volomir, hunting down clues as to his whereabouts. Will they find him before he finds Kitus? Find out on this tale of pen and paper.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to Tales of the Dice Roll. As always, I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jonas Pelot, and I'm joined today by...
Aaron Moore, and I'm playing Shepherd Gray.
Evan Saxton, I'm playing Archival, Kavil.
Hi, I'm Nicholas Reysack, and I'm playing Taruk, Umbaku.
I'm Porter Williams, and I'm playing Meru.
And we just left off our last session with Volomir just barely escaping from your guys' clutches in the night woods, and he seems to have made off north to the wastes. You guys kind of recoup and recollect with the soldiers. You see one of them was wounded in the fight with the Ratmen, but the rest seem none the worse for wear. As you guys kind of happened upon this camp and got the jump on them, the soldiers were pretty easily able to split up the Ratmen and cut them down. So no losses, fortunately.
Oh, except for the guy with the bolt in his neck.
Yeah, there's that guy. Everybody else is fine.
That's good.
The lieutenant, who was now kind of had charge forced upon him, is like, if you don't mind, I'd like to return my comrade's body back to his homeland. We've taken you to the night woods, but this is as far as we can go.
That is fine.
You two, as you guys are kind of sorting through what seems like Volomir's belongings, as he has kind of left everything behind in this night woods scene, you see there's various documents, books, and different readings. None of them seem to be a book of the certain magnitude that was stolen from the Bannerlord back in Lezerin. So you can assume Volomir has made off with that, at least, if he had it at all. As you sort through and paw through, you start going through maps and scrolls as you start pulling them out of scroll tubes, and you can see a couple of them have been written on recently with some sort of quill or to mark out what looks like a path into the wastes.
There's like a path through the night woods, presumably the one that he would have taken.
Yes. The rest of the stuff that you guys kind of paw through, the Ratmen mostly just have scraps and garbage and supplies and food, and most everything else you find in Volomir's pack is of inconsequence.
I want to make a little tooth necklace from all the rats. And then I'm gonna go up to Shepherd and be like, dear Shepherd, my boy, I see... Okay, well, you're getting too angsty. This is for you. I see you like wearing dead things, so I think you'd really like this necklace.
I was actually thinking about dropping the whole dead animal thing. It hasn't gone well for me, actually.
Well, I think it's a great look on you.
I'll keep the rat, the little necklace though. It's kind of cute. Right. But this rat is kind of starting to stink. So.
There's fresh carcasses to remount your shoulders.
You know what? I think I'm gonna switch up my fashion style for a little bit.
We travel with crazy people.
So, what would you guys like to do?
I say we get on the trail of Volomir. Can't let them get too far.
So do we gotta cross the river? Where are we gonna go
Yes.
back
The
to?
less
have
time
to
we
cross
spend
the
in the night woods, the better.
No time to break. We got a man to catch and a man to kill.
All right. Survival check.
Of course.
Can I fly to help assist?
Yes.
25.
You're able to very easily, you've got your bearing in the night woods now, and even though they can be treacherous to find your way through, you've got a solid path, and you're able to almost just blaze your way through the night woods, and it only takes you a couple hours before there's this sudden stop. You see almost a light at the end of the tunnel. After walking for a few minutes, it almost immediately the trees end, and bare, coarse sand sweeps out in front of you.
Oh.
Up into rolling dunes as far as the eye can see. The wastes lie in front of you. Whatever was left of Volomir's trail has been obliterated by the constantly shifting sands of the waste. And all that you have to go upon are the maps that was bestowed upon you.
Do we see anything in the horizon?
There's markings on the map, but again, they're written in Undercommon. So what these markers refer to, you don't know.
the closest one on the map to us at the moment?
The closest one on the map is here, where there's a second portion of the Night Woods. The trail seems to go just to the tip of this Night Woods, and then they all kind of coalesce here, and then they splinter off up into the wastes.
That's likely an outpost for them.
I was gonna say that'd be a camp for sure.
And how far would that be? Can we estimate?
A good day or two if you know what you're doing in the wastes. It could be longer if you lose track. So, the shifting sands of the wastes lie before you. What do you guys want to do?
We shall push
Go to the
forward.
outpost.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's
Or
not, at
what
least,
we
yeah.
assume
Let's
to be an
get to the
outpost.
outskirts at least of this outpost.
Nick, I'm assuming you're going to keep leading the way.
Of course.
It'll be a survival check, but this time at a regular roll.
Okay.
You do not know your way through the wastes, and they are a dangerous place.
17.
Works for me. The wastes, as you start pressing in, the heat ratchets up a notch almost instantly as you get here. This is a forsaken place. Any life that does thrive here has managed to claw its way into existence and holds on, and every single day could be its last. The dunes, as you cross more and more, the wastes in front of you just seem practically endless. You know the outpost that you are looking for is somewhere just slightly northeast of where you are, and you push onwards and onwards and onwards, and after several hours, the dunes just seem to keep coming, and no matter where you look, dunes just lie before you. This is nothing like you've ever tracked through before. You're used to the forest. Forests, they can get confusing, but you can at least start to distinguish that tree from that tree. Here, it's that piece of sand from that piece of sand.
Sand.
It
it's
is
rough.
just...
It's coarse. It gets everywhere.
It does, and it is brutal in the wastes. As you continue on further and further, eventually you cross a dune, and far off in the distance, through the shimmering heat haze, you see the familiar darkness of the Night Woods. As you push closer and closer, the Night Woods never really seem to get closer until you're almost on top of them. They're maybe a good mile away now. The sun is beginning to set itself behind the dunes, but the Night Woods are within reach now, once again. You guys don't know exactly where you are along that curve. He did his best to pathfind you towards it, but as you look in either direction, the Night Woods seem to continue, so you can tell that you're not at the point.
Can I fly just along the border for a bit?
Yeah.
See if I see anything.
You get yourself above the trees, and even a bit more on top of that, and you fly along the curve of the Night Woods, and eventually you see a point where the Night Woods they seem to taper into this almost jagged stab into the wastes, which, as you can see from the trees that surround the point here, it seems to be a battle that the Night Woods is losing to the wastes. But you also see a break in the trees bigger than any clearing that you've seen, and as you fly closer, you see that there seems to be some sort of small, shoddy palisade set up near almost the exact tip of the Night Woods.
All right. I'll fly back for now. I'll fill in. We're getting close. Just farther down there. We're heading towards the point, and there is a camp that I saw. Not much, but seems they've made a tiny palace of some sort. Don't know what's going on. I didn't get the closest look. I don't want to alert anything.
You didn't see anybody?
Would we want to approach them, or would we want to simply just head towards the map where it says?
What if
the
we just
paths
like
converge?
ran right in?
I am with good old Shepherd here on wanting to slaughter something. But also...
But should we
But
go?
that is needlessly risky.
See, I was a little upset the other
Yeah,
night.
but I have new toys to play with.
I'm
Disintegration.
well aware of your new wings.
Remember how I was real sad the other night and like a lot before?
Mhm.
It's kind of turned a little bit into anger now after all that heat. And so I really want to kill this guy.
That's
I feel like
not a
there's
healthy
also gonna
coping
be
mechanism.
some important things at a camp here in the waste. It seems everything starts here and then divulges throughout. So I feel like we do need to at least check it out.
But the palisade seems to be a very quickly erected thing, built out of what mostly looks like broken down carts that have kind of just been splintered and erected into this shoddy fence that enclosed maybe a 30-foot circle. The gates hang open loosely, and the remains of a small camp lie inside.
They likely wouldn't have left behind anything important, so I believe we should just probably use that point as a reference and then head towards deeper into the wastes.
This seems like such a prominent spot.
It likely was for a day or two, but
Can I just take a look inside the promenade? Quick little in and out.
Yeah, if you'd like to roll an investigation check.
Perhaps there's a cart in there.
where's our horse?
The camel.
12.
You look inside and you see the remains of two or what looks like maybe 3 campfires scattered throughout here. Whoever stayed in here, it was a group of people. How many, you're not able to tell how many stayed in here, but it couldn't have been for more than a day or two that this was used as kind of a jumping off point into the wastes.
Yep. Somebody was definitely here.
Good eye.
We gotta find 'em.
Well, let us use
Let's go.
this. If we can perhaps reference where this is on the map, then we could probably head towards the path that was established.
Hear me out. You fly really high,
Okay.
and then you tell us if the map's accurate.
What if we just started walking? And what if I was just gonna start walking away as my voice gets quieter as I just...
As he walks away into the waste.
Could you imagine just, doing the thing we're trying to do? How'd you make a monk lose his patience?
I'll just kind of going along, just right.
As I'm just penned down, you guys can follow me if you want.
I shall follow.
It doesn't take long for the night woods to disappear behind you guys, maybe an hour or two of walking into the wastes. You guys now get the feeling that where you're going, you've got maybe a needle in a haystack chance if you're just looking for one man out here in the wastes. It's going to be rough. They don't call them the waste for nothing. People don't live out here. There's no habitation. There's no guide points to base yourself off of. People don't come here for a reason. Whoever set up that camp and whoever left from that camp, they are at least half as determined as you. So, survival check.
12.
12?
12. You rolled one better.
I got a 4 and a 5.
Going into the heart of the wastes, it's your bestial senses start to fail you. Back towards the night woods, you could feel the faint sense of the ocean far off to your west, and some sort of reservoir of water far off to the east, and you could base yourself on this small jut of land between the river and the true waste. But now that you are really diving into the heart of the wastes, it's all just smells the same. It is just this dry, coarse,
sand.
hot air. And your senses start to fail you almost. You feel what you imagine a blind man feels like. You feel lost. And as you continue further and further into the waste, there's no signs of Volomir. There's no sign of anything other than more rolling dunes.
Oh, friend, I've heard of warriors such as yourself in tune with nature. I believe you have the ability to sort of feel your surroundings around you for about, I heard 3 miles? You have a spell. I think it's like commune with nature.
I think I just got that.
Yeah, you got that 10th level.
I shall use Spirit Walker, aka commune with nature.
All right. So what exactly does that do?
It allows me to summon like a creature, like a ghastly creature, like which would be like a bear, and it'll tell you the information I seek.
All right.
It allows you within 3 miles to know any notable locations, peoples, creatures, like landmarks, like water, anything like that.
You sit and you summon your spirit walker, and the sands in front of you begin to shift and swirl, and this sandy bear arises out of it forms itself into this sand, And to you guys, it makes no noise, but in your head, it speaks.
What information do you seek?
I seek to know where anything of importance here that can lead us to a man known as Vladimir.
Anything of importance in the waste is not true. There is nothing here. But the man you seek, I do know of him. He came here with others, and they have trekked into the waste, further beyond from where we are now.
They're further into the waste?
Yes. I can lead you upon their path.
Where on this map right here?
The bear looks down at the map, looks back at you.
I know not of paper, nor what it means, but I can lead you upon the path that the dog elf took.
Tell me.
Follow.
And it doesn't step forward as it just kind of slides along the waist as the sand continuously just rolls through. And it glides upon, it doesn't look back once as it begins to glide along the waste following this trek through the dunes. It takes you 3 miles from the point from which you first use your spirit walker. And it seems Volomir is traveling in a very straight line in the wastes. There seems to be a very definite direction that they're heading. They don't seem lost. They don't wander or veer, no matter the dunes or anything that gets in the way. It is just this straight shot path.
And can I like reference this with like the map and like which direction we're going to
As
see
you-
where this kid like
You
lead up
start to pick up that you're all moving in a very straight line. You don't manage to walk around any dunes. There's no detours along this path that the bear guides you along. And you start referencing back to where you came from and starting to reference it, and you can draw yourself a trajectory further and deeper into the wastes. The bear solemnly nods to you, and you get the feeling of respect as it
Thank you.
the sands settle back
Who
into
was that?
motionless.
Yeah, that guy just was like, he just appeared, didn't say anything, and just kind of
Why
went.
did we follow him for like 3 miles?
Were you talking to him? Like
Him, you guys are acting like it was a dude. It was a bear.
Sorry,
Maybe
my
he was a
bad, my
bear
bad. That's on me.
He seemed pretty
That is-
chill. I don't know.
That is on me.
Trust
Fuck you
me,
guys.
he's chill like that.
You're able to keep yourself, at least as far as you can tell, on a very straight path. And the hours slowly drag by as the sun beats down upon you. But finally, you crest a dune, and as you look down in front of you, you can see before the wind whips it away what looked like several footprints, and you can see stretching up the dune in front of you, there's scattered prints that haven't quite been covered in yet.
Making good time. Let us hurry.
You push on. The sun sets completely, and a bright moon rises over the wastes, illuminating them in this soft silver glow. And after walking for, who knows, 3-4 more hours maybe, you see the flicker of artificial flame.
You guys get ready at the entrance.
Do we have to fight them?
I don't want to fight anything, but we don't know what's in this camp. Chances are
We could try
Volomir's
to
probably in the area.
We could try to divert them somewhere else and then simply slip in where they're protecting.
As you guys are
Oh, God.
standing here in the dunes, you hear a scream of some woman pierce out through the night. It is a scream of just sheer terror, and then it is cut abruptly short.
Damn, that sounds like it sucks.
Thought that was us getting caught for a moment.
Uh-oh.
Okay, so it sounds like they have hostages, so bombing the camp is still on the table, but moved down.
Hear me out. We send in the camel.
Okay, roll over again.
Okay. Send the camel in, and just let's see what happens to it. Anyone? Just me.
What if we send Shepard in?
That's a
See
good
what happens
idea. I'm with that. I have.
If we can somehow
Actually,
get some
guys,
attention
I know
on,
what we can do.
what can we do?
I can change the appearance of all of us.
Oh,
So we can change how we look like?
Yeah,
could
I can
appear as-
I can change the way you guys look, what armor you're wearing, what weapons you have, equipment. I can also make you guys a foot shorter or taller, fat or thin. I can do whatever I want to any of you guys. So we could just make ourselves look like rat people.
Please make me look a foot shorter and
I'm
fat.
the 7-foot rat.
True, you guys would be 7-foot rat people, but
I'm sure they have some others amongst their ranks. I do have that invisibility potion. While you guys are doing that, I could perhaps distract them in other ways.
all right, I'm leading in. You follow me. You follow me.
Yes.
You go hide.
Are we rat people?
As I drink the invisibility
We're
potion.
rat people.
I'm now
Oh.
invisible. I'm under the effects of the invisibility spell for an hour.
All right.
And we are rat people for 8 more hours, or until somebody makes the saving throw if they want to make the attempt.
Don't take this the wrong way. And I'm just saying this just to be out there, but I want to kill all of us right now. We're all rats. That's all.
Shepard, I think when we're done, the funds that
I'm
we're
not
gonna
gonna
make
act-
off of this, you're gonna use for therapy. Now let's go in.
I'm gonna sort of like I'm gonna disband from them, and I'm gonna like sort of go off to the side.
All right. Are you getting there before them?
I'm walking at a slower pace, so probably not.
Okay.
None of us can speak what the rats speak. So
I can speak Orcish.
And I can just pretend.
all right. I can speak Dwarvish.
I don't know who knows like the language you're speaking, because I can understand all spoken.
I can speak Abyssal.
Wait,
Oh, you're the
actually,
only one who
I
can
have
understand
tongues
all
too.
of
I
them.
have tongues too.
Okay.
Tell me this isn't a concentration. It's not. Okay, problem solved. We're good. I also cast tongues.
And what does tongues do for the people at home?
That will. This spell grants the creature you touch the ability to understand any spoken language it hears. Moreover, when the target speaks, any creature that knows at least one language can hear the target and understand what it says. So I will touch myself with that. And I'll
As you guys kind of round to where it looks like there might be more of an entrance to where this camp would be, as you come up over the hill, you see that the camp that was asleep is now alive and awake now. Looking to where you couldn't see earlier on the drone, but the dune face that was away from your camera. In it lies this twisting, interlinking gears and networks of just metal that run together. It comes together in kind of this iris shape where it seals shut. And it's been obviously excavated out from this dune. And in front of you, you see a small cobbled together camp. There seems to be some supplies set up away from the wind. And in front of you stand 4 figures. And as you take a closer look, you see around them are bodies. They are either asleep or dead, you do not know. But from a woman's body near the door, you see the sands have been stained dark red with blood as it spills out in front of the gate. And as you 3 round the corner, you see Volomir once again turn and look at you guys. And a quick look of confusion crosses his face. And the 3 other figures are all wearing cloaks with hoods on, and they don't turn to you. Only Volomir turns. And he barks in what you guys hear is undercommon, but to you he's like, "Yo, Ratman, where did you come from?"
I'm on patrol, sir. We found where the drone man was. We're on them, and we were wondering if you want more rats for them, because it's the people that you don't really like, you know. They're on our tails. So we wonder if you could get rid of them, you know. Get a party out there. They get rid of them. The drones. They got them all out there.
He squints for a second, and then you hear, "No, that won't be necessary." And he turns, and you don't see him say anything to any of the figures, but 2 of them turn, and they start walking towards you 3.
Where am I still like approaching the side?
I would say you've gotten here
gonna-
by now.
stand like side, like how you would a soldier.
As you go to move, you hear in your mind,
Don't move, snack.
You say snack?
Snack?
Something about him. Just like, I already don't like these rats.
They are nearly on top of you
And I'm just
at this point.
all right.
And one of them reaches out towards you, and as it reaches out from under this cloak, this blue, long-fingered hand with long
I'm
claws.
just gonna shoot upwards.
Reach
I'm
out.
just gonna shoot upwards. I'm going up.
You're flying up?
I'm going up.
Okay. I'm assuming when you take off, the illusion breaks on you.
Yeah, I feel like would the flap of the wings be enough wind
Yeah.
to knock the hood?
And the hood flies back, and this maw of tentacles reaches out. and
You
it,
got a mind flayer.
and the second one also, they're both mind flayers. And they, and you hear in your mind,
You will be tastier than I imagined. I'm tired of rats.
all right, the three of you need to make an intelligence saving throw, please. As you hear this piercing, ringing noise, it's almost as if someone smacked a triangle, like a triangle instrument. It's this piercing scree.
Modify already.
20? All right,
23, 27.
27,
13.
13. You're stunned for a minute.
Am I still a rat?
I think it dropped.
I think it definitely drops after taking 18 psychic damage. As this, it feels as if your mind itself has just been shattered as this piercing, like, you can't even describe it as a noise. It's this piercing feeling as your mind cracks from the just pure psionic force radiating out of this mind flayer. And the second one that was next to it turns and bolts off towards Volomir and what you can assume is a third mind flayer.
I guess I'll head closer to like the first one. Is the first one fire? Which one is like on like? Is there one like near Taruk, or is he just stunned?
They're all three of them. I'm assuming you guys were all kind of standing next to each other as like the three musketeer rat guys.
Yeah.
So there's one next to them. There's one next to Volomir who's in front of the gate, and then there's a second one who's kind of in the middle, running towards the other two.
Yeah, then I'm gonna make my way towards my the first mind flayer on top of Taruk, and I'm just gonna reverse just temple smash his squishy little brain
All
for a
right.
stunning strike.
Roll to hit.
Advantage because he don't know nothing.
True.
Fishing for a crit, but that was an 18 plus I believe 7.
You hear this scream in your head, this as you crack its temples between your hands. And then you hear Volomir shout, "No!" And then it all goes white. You're all not sure how long it's white for, but when you open your eyes once again, you're not in the wastes anymore. You're not sure what happened, where you are, and as you begin to kind of gather your surroundings, you blink the white out of your eyes and you start to look around. You're alone. None of you see each other. You seem to be alone, and as you start to really look around, the sky is no longer this cloudless, bright blue of the waste. It's this it's like you're looking into space, almost. You see the stars swirling above you, but it's not stars you recognize. And as you start to look a bit closer, they don't seem to be stars at all. In fact, you can see them moving across the sky in these different patterns and mechanisms, and you can see that the stars are artificial in some way. And as you bring your eyes down from the heavens, a massive city lies in front of you. It is a city you can only describe as pure bronze and gold. Architecture goes everywhere, and it's just, as the text said, unexplainable. The way the buildings cross with each other, they almost seem to constantly evolve and change into new buildings and new shapes. You see signs come up and go down. You see clockwork moving all around you as the technology swirls in this city, the city of Kaidos, the lost city of technology. You've arrived.
With our group finally arriving in Kaidos, their mission now is to find each other. How they accomplished this feat in an unknown land? Find out on next week's Tale of the Dice Roll.